All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. The honors go out to the apostles, elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Shalom, Barakiam to you brothers and sisters out there. All right, this is Brother Malachi from the Great Millstone Nashville camp. And Lord willing that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. All right, hold on, let me make sure the mic is on. Okay, I'm just making sure. So what I got pulled up here is I typed in loner in school. That's exactly what I typed up. You see a picture here, 3 friends, and then there's just a guy over there, by himself. The reason why I have this up on the screen is because, especially, for those that are new to the faith, you need to expect to be alone. Okay, you need to expect to be alone, and not in that regard. Hold on one second. All right, sorry for that. I'm back. Oh yeah, so you're not really, which you'll have times where you feel like you're alone because you just like feel so. Well, I mean, what's a good word? I'm not the best with words at times, but basically like you're enclosed, like in your own little world, because most of the day you're walking in the store, you're at work, doing whatever, even at your own house, if you live with unbelievers, you're around a bunch of people that will never see eye to eye with you on this side. And it makes you feel like, damn, I'm all to myself. And that's how Elijah felt too, right? But the Lord said, I have 7,000 men that have not bowed their knee to the image of Baal. Lord, when I didn't butcher shop that too bad, but I don't believe I did. So, but here's the thing, like it says in Ecclesiastes, 2 is better than 1. We don't push the being a lone wolf, all right? Because it's not cool to be a fucking lone wolf, man. All right, I started my walk alone, and I ever since I came with brothers, the growth has been exponential. Yahweh Ratazah, that it has, and it continues to be so. All right, but I would never want to go back to being by myself. Now for the brothers that don't have that, they don't have a choice. They're not, they're meant to be by themselves, still, communicate, with brothers, man. Tap in, don't just be in a corner by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because talking to a brother really can boost your spirit. Iron sharp, doesn't it say in Proverbs, iron sharpeth iron? And who wrote Proverbs? Yahweh Shai. Right? He was King Solomon at the time. Yahweh Shai wrote that. Yahweh Shai constantly pushed brotherhood. Don't allow that lone wolf demon to try to consume you to the point where it tries to make you think, yeah, not even brothers understand me. Man, bullshit. Brothers be going through, different things, but really the same. We all be thinking the same shit. Okay? But I have this picture up because, you come in and you're like, damn, why does nobody like me? Like what? But you always gotta revert back to the scriptures, right? Romans 15:4. These things were written afore a time for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And we remember, wait, Yahweh Shai told me this was gonna happen. He said that. Matter of fact, let me get it. Because you got to remember, man, these people don't like us because the way we walk, the way we conduct ourselves, that's what I mean by walk, the way we conduct ourselves is contrary to their doings. It talks about that in Wisdom of Solomon. Right? I want to say the 2nd chapter, where it starts off with the wicked think, within themselves, something like that. He walketh contrary to our doings. To the point where in the coming days, they're going to want to rat you out. Worse, and Salaki for that bodily noise. Worse, they going to want to murder you. they're going to want to, harm your family. Because these people really hate us, man. And the reason why they hate us is because we have the light, right? We have Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is with us every day, right? And like Yahweh Shai said, I don't remember if it's in this chapter, but it's in John. It talks about how people hate the light because they don't want to be reproved. So, bro, let me just get this. John chapter 15 in verse 17. I'll start at 17. It's in red. You already know what that means. Our Lord spoke these words, obviously, not in English, but got translated to the modern day, heavily used language of English. These things I command you, that ye love one another. So does that sound like a lone wolf? No. Yahweh Shai was with his disciples, man. He loved them, and they loved him. This is a body. We're here for each other. We need allies, man, and we're on the same team, and that doesn't mean other camps. No, if you don't push the same doctrine, you are not with us. How many scriptures, how many lessons, how many camps do we have to have and bring that out to show you that, no, if you don't have the same doctrine, you are not with us. All right, but you don't have to be in Great Millstone, to be a part of the body, per se. It's about the doctrine, all right? It's about the doctrine, man. Because there are affiliate camps out there, that are sincere, that are doing the way, and there's also some that aren't, that they claim to give double honors, but they're really not, about what they say they are. That's just how it appears on camera. And, look, you don't really know how a man is until you meet him off camera, until you meet him in stressful situations, okay? Now, obviously, you go with the spirit because obviously there's a lot of brothers that we watch that we'll never meet, So take what I said with a grain of salt in that aspect, okay? But just know that everybody that gives all praise and double honors, it doesn't mean that he's actually right in his mind. You don't know what that man is doing outside of that camp, Saturday, camp Sunday, whatever day. So you got to be careful and watch that. Just remember, it's all about the doctrine. It's about mannerisms. All right, but verse 18, it says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, which means we got to put off that old man. We got to be reborn, John the 3rd chapter, right? But I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. And let's get that word for world. Why not, right? Look at that. Cosmos, G2889, which is going into Israel. Because that's who salvation is only for, John 3:16, right? When we go into the word. But it also says it right here. You were chosen out of Israel. Right? Many are called, but few are chosen. So we don't know if we're actually chosen, unless we endure unto the end. Matthew 24:13. All right. Acts 14:22. You can add to that as well. Through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. How art thou were of the elect? We're going to endure it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptations like it hath taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Lord makes a way for you to escape. So keep that in mind too. If you believe you're of the elect, you're gonna get through the hard times, bro. Just like you already have been going through hard times, getting through it, it's going to continue to happen. It's just going to get harder, but you going to get tougher, But the Lord chose us, he called us rather out of Israel. We answered the phone. Yes, Lord. Do this. Boom. We on it. The Lord ain't dealing with all Israel right now, bro. John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. The Lord is not praying for all Israel, man. So why should you? Pray for your brothers. Pray for your sisters that are pushing the doctrine, doing conducting themselves according to the ways of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Everybody else can do whatever the hell they want to do and ride off into the sunset and be destroyed. That's on them because we warned them. We're out there, man. teaching, bringing out these scriptures every single day. There's no excuse. I believe that's in this chapter as well. There's no, which how routes I can read this tomorrow. There's no excuse for you to say, well, I didn't know. Well, you did. You did. Matter of fact, because and the Lord might show you people where you fucked up at. Well, I didn't know, Lord. So what about this video right here? You watched 12 minutes, 38 seconds of it, and you put a thumbs down and commented, y'all are trash. What about this? Well, I didn't know that was the men of the... Shut the fuck up, man. You knew. Okay? You knew, man. And these are the type of people that they don't like you. Because once again, you walk contrary to their doings. Because you have a standard, because you have a backbone as an Israelite, especially Israelite male. These 2/3 hate seeing an Israelite man seeking his power, his God, because our people are liking on the fucking heathens. John 8:24, or not 24, Salaki, John 8:44. Year of your father, the devil. A lot of our people are with the mindset of an Edomite, even these black-only Israelites. Bro, you think like a fucking cracker, man. You understand? You're not thinking righteously, being carnal-minded. That's an Edomite quality. Lying, stealing, teaching false doctrine. These are all qualities of a fucking Edomite. So you need to repent and get yourself together before the Lord get your ass. And that's the end of the story. We can wrap it up, sign off right there. Isaiah 55:8. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Or it might be verse 6. 6 down to 7 or 6 down to 8. But these, we're not surprised when these people don't like us, when people stare. Now, don't get it twisted. Not everybody hates you or looks at you, because the remnant is out there, man. And there's Jake that's cool. There's even other heathens that are, mediocre, but they're not trash as hell. They might hold the door. Not everybody's a dickhead, man. Some people out there, obviously only talking about Jake, but some people out there, they got hope. Like Yahushua said, a dude could give you some water and he can get saved for that. Okay, so don't be quick, don't be grumpy as hell and angry, but don't be surprised when people look at you weird or cut eyes at you or stare at you or got their fist bumped. Don't be surprised because these things happen to Yahushua first. Okay, so Lord, when that this lesson was edifying. Before I close, I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors the apostles, elders, a great millstone, rule and teach well. Shalom wa barak yom to your brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.